In this video, we'll show how to build a hierarchy from the bottom up, working from the alternatives first to the objectives, and we'll use what's called collaborative structuring. So we'll start again as we did before, a new project. Again, enter in your group number, followed by your initials with the name of the project. And click OK. And this time we'll start with alternatives, and we'll use what's called visual brainstorming. We'll use the individual mode. I'll make another video showing the team time mode in a minute if you want to do it with your group members at the same time. And what we're going to do is just click on the whiteboard and we'll put in the three alternatives identified in the case. One was to make the decision with one large group. Another was top level management only. And a third was to refine the current process. Now when we brainstorm, we might have many other things that we decide aren't good ideas. Here we'll accept each of these, so we'll just drag them over to the alternatives pane. And if there were any that we didn't want, we would just leave them over here. Next we'll click on alternative pros and cons, and we'll look at the pros and cons for each of these to help us identify objectives. Each pro and con points to one or more objectives. So let's start out with top management only. So what are the sum of the pros and cons of making a decision only with top management? Well, the pro is that they would maintain control. And you know, top level management always wants to maintain control. And sometimes they don't share information just because of this. So that's a pro. Another pro would be that it might take less time to make a decision. A con might be that we lack consensus. So we can do this for each of the alternatives. And then what do we do with the pros and cons? Well, what we can do is we can drag them over to the objectives hierarchy and convert each one of these to one or more objectives. So for example, if we take maintain control and drag it to our objectives hierarchy, and sometimes we have to rename this because what's a pro and a con might not be worded appropriately for an objective, but maintaining control, let's put the ing in here, is an objective for top level management. Less elapsed time, so the objective is the elapsed time to make the decision. That's one of the objectives. And lack of consensus, so that would translate to an objective of achieving consensus, or just saying consensus. We don't have to say achieving because that's one of our objectives. We can continue doing this for the pros and cons for the other alternatives. And if we want more help, we just click on the help icon. I'm not going to do that here. You can put things into a hierarchy. For example, if you talked about maintaining control, there might be a sub-objective under here, so you can drag a pro and con and put it under maintaining control. You can move these things around. All that's explained in the help. So when we finish this phase, we just stop the session, click on the return button, and now we're back to our main screen, and we have our alternatives here, and we also have our objectives. If we want to, we could add more objectives and alternatives just as we did in the first video. Again, we'll skip contributions and information documents, and I won't be doing participants and participant roles here. We'll leave that for the first video for you to see how that's done.